G'day guys, welcome back again. I'm going to do another pour like my rocky riverbed one that I did yesterday. I'll show it to you if you missed that video. It's just up here on my drying rack. My mix was a little bit thinner than I would have liked and I over-torched like crazy, so it's very busy, lots of cells, so I'm going to be more restrained with my torching today. I'm going with the same colours. Well, actually no, I'm not going with the same colours. I've taken white out. I wanted a more of a darker, sort of a moody looking painting, so I've just taken the white out. Right, glue and water mix today, no floetrol, and it's a 30 by 60 centimetre canvas, 12 by 24 inch, so I know I need 800 grams of mixed paint. In my cups, I've got 6 cups, and I've got 70 grams of pouring medium and 70 grams of paint in each. That's 140. I'm going to do 6 drops, I think, of treadmill silicone. 6 in each except the black. The previous one that had white in it, it had a lot of like pale blue, I guess, because of my navy, and I didn't want that. I wanted the navy to stay as dark as possible. Aren't I clever, talking while I'm counting? Right, now I'll let these paints sit for probably 2 hours, I guess, hoping that the bubbles would all go. It still has a little bit of bubbles, a bit of frothy in it. I don't know if leaving it any longer will help. The longer you leave it, the more they sort of thicken up, so I'm just going to go for it. So my mix is thicker than it was yesterday. Leaves a mound on a mound, really quite thick. Right, let's go for it. I'm trying to keep the yellow away from the blue. I don't mind the green and the yellow together. I'm trying to keep the navy and the dark green away from the black because they're all dark colours, so this is kind of what I'm doing. I'm putting the cream in between the 2 dark colours there. Sprayed my cups with a little bit of silicone oil, and let's get to layering. You move over. I'm going to just pour down the side. And for the lovely person that messaged me and said, please don't scrape your cups, it's like fingernails on a chalkboard. Just don't watch, because I'm going to scrape my cups. So if that bothers you, if you don't get anything out of my videos and my scraping the cups bothers you, please move on to someone else's channel. I hate to bother you with a noise like that. Okay, that's the yellow in. The yellow is yellow oxide, and I found it was just a little bit too bright, so I've toned it down with some white. So the yellow oxide was a transparent colour, and because I've mixed it with a little bit of white, hopefully it's going to maybe just go semi-opaque or opaque. Whoops, nearly dropped it. So it still has got white in here, but just not a separate white. This cup's not making very much noise. It's a bigger cup. It doesn't have those little ribs on the side. I was going to try and make a lot of noise by scraping it just to annoy her, but it's not, because it hasn't got those ribs down the side. Oh dear. You gotta laugh, don't you? All right, back to the cream. Don't know why I've got a little bit of that chocolate brown left in my cup. Oh, actually, no, I do know. It was really quite thick. I had to add a bit of water to my brown, and I had to add a little bit of water to the yellow oxide as well. So I probably got a little bit more of that one, not much more, but a little bit more. Okay, back to the nice dark green. This one is called Deep Sea. I've got a deep space and a deep sea today. The deep space is my navy, my favorite navy, and this one is deep sea. It's really dark greeny blue, kind of a deep oceany sort of a color. Very pretty. Okay, that's that one. Nearly there. More of the yellow. So I've changed up the order from yesterday. Yesterday I had the yellow and the brown next to each other, and I got that yellow and brown sort of stripe through the center of my painting, which I wasn't really impressed with. So I've separated those two colors today. They're a little bit similar, aren't they? So I've just separated them with a different color. And let's finish off with a bit of black. I do like the black, just to add some drama. It makes your cells stand out if you've got some black in there. Whoops, spilling. Rightio. Well, I've got a tiny little bit of brown left, so just let's use it up. You can just sit on top of the black like that. Yeah, so I did want the paint to sit, I guess, and get all those air bubbles out, but I don't know, 2 hours I left them and it really didn't look as if it had changed any. So I'm just going with it. It's just that when you flip your cups over, you tend to get all those little speckles. Okay, so I'm going to try and flip differently. So put that one that way. Not have them all coming out the same way, because I've poured them all through there. So just to see if that makes any difference. And that one can go there. So that one's aiming that way and that one's aiming that way. I don't know whether it'll make any difference or not, but let's try. So I just want to flip these. I don't want to drag them. Okay, while that's sitting there, I'll tell you about my colours. So the creamy one is called Eggnog. These are all global colours, so same as yesterday. As I said, just took out the white. Burnt sienna. I was thinking maybe using the next colour up, the burnt umber, the darker one. So I may do another pour with the darker one just to see how that works out. Some black, and that's the navy, deep space. And the yellow is yellow oxide. I just put that into my own container. And that dark greeny colour is called Deep Sea. Rightio. Right, let's hope I can do this. The first one I videoed, showed you. The second one I scraped. And now this is the third one, so fingers crossed. I've thickened up my mix a lot. And I will try and refrain from torching too much. So let's go. Just flip, over. Rightio. It's a totally different look without the white, isn't it? Might as well use all this. It's going to be tipped over the edge anyway, so it might as well go down there. Alrighty, still a bit speckly. What can you do? What can you do? Okay, now I don't want to use the extra paint in the cups. Hopefully not. This corner might be a problem. Might just put some there. I'll see what it looks like. If it's too muddy, I won't. I can always wipe it off. Just as a flow enhancer. Probably going to lose it anyway, but just to have something on the corners. Just to help the main section of paint flow over. You know, to get it to kind of stick it there and then helps it go over the edge. Okay, cells are big straight away, so that's kind of good. You know, when I use my glue, my 60-30-10, and when I pour like this, the cells really don't come up at all. I have to torch for them to come up. So this is a different mix. This doesn't have the floetrol in it. Right, nice and high, gentle. Try not to over torch. That was very, very gentle and restrained. And you can see them coming up here. A few little blue ones through there. Even though there's lots of speckles, I need the torch to bring the silicone up to the surface, which brings these bigger cells. Got some dark ones coming through here, and there's a caterpillar, unfortunately. I'm going to take my finger through that caterpillar. Where else? Where else? I might try my little guy, just because I need to get in around the bigger cells. Did that work? That's just a little creme brulee. I should need some in here. Alright, we'll just wait a minute. There's a lot in the centre here. So that'll be enough. So those yellow ones have popped through in that darker section there. The cream's kind of acting as my white, throwing those light cells without it being too white, and hopefully without dulling my navy down too much. The navy's turning a little bit light blue there where the cream's on it, but probably not as much as it would if it was white. And And I think the yellow is a better shade, not so bright. Yeah, it's okay. Rightio, let's get to tilting. And I want to keep as much paint on here as I can. So let's walk left and right and left and right till we get to the end. And back. That's where I put my finger in the caterpillar. Pretty cells. I love this mix. I should prefer, well, I won't speak too soon. We'll see what happens. See what happens. It's a lot darker, isn't it? I was after moody and dark. You guys have seen my paintings. I always do really bright. There's lots of white, there's lots of turquoise. I need to just get out of my comfort zone, out of my box, and try for some different colour schemes. This one included. Alright, that's gone over. Maybe it's a bit too dark. Maybe I need to reduce the black. She wants moody, and then she complains because it's too moody. Never happy, am I? Now, can I get my hand under here and open this up a little bit? Yes, I can. Or is it all just going to close up again when I let go? Alright, let's get to tilting the other way. Maybe some of this will open up a bit as I stretch. Just helping that corner over a little bit. Wow, it's actually quite pretty, isn't it? The dark moodiness of it all. I think I like it. I think I do. And now I have to get to the last corner. Oh my gosh, it's always the hardest corner. Now, what can I put there? What have I got? Let me see if I can pop a little bit of black there. I'm really going to have trouble stretching it to get to this last little corner. And it's not worth ruining that whole painting just to cover this little tiny area. Scrape, scrape, scrape. It's not that loud, surely to goodness. Is it that loud that it warrants a whole big message? Right. Now, I'll just torch this corner, because if I don't end up going over that corner, hopefully maybe I can just have a couple of cells in there. Because it kind of matches, doesn't it? I mean, if I can get over the corner, sure, that would be great, but if I can't, then I won't worry about it too much. Rocky Mountain High, is that a good name for it? It's more mountainous, I guess, because it's got more greens in it. Reminds me of a mountain. Alright, let's see how much I can get this over. So the weight of the paint's here at the moment. Just going to go really slowly, watching everything else. I'll try and wet that side. That'll just make it a little bit easier for the paint to go over. It looks as if I'll be able to get rid of that black, but that's probably about all. That'll do. I'll come back. I'll leave that corner. It's okay. I've got some cells in there now, in that corner. So it is okay. It's not like it's an ugly corner, it matches. Okay, I think that's done. And I won't touch that. Now, let me just check my sides. I don't know, you guys, is it too dark? I know, I wanted dark. I got dark. Now I'm complaining because it's too dark. I should just be grateful that it's a pretty pour and I've achieved a dark, moody look, which is what I wanted. We never seem to be happy, do we? I don't know, maybe we have something in our mind. We think this is what it will look like. And then when it's not, we're kind of disappointed, but it's never going to be exactly what we think. Well, I don't believe so anyway. I've never done one that's exactly how I pictured it. You know, maybe a little bit similar, but never exactly the same as what I pictured. It's my little tool. I think I just need to center a little bit more. There's quite empty there. I think that'll do. Now I just need to cover up these sides here. So put a good amount of paint on and then let it run down, make its own little pretty pattern. What do you reckon, guys? I'm not going to torch it again. And I knew I was going to get lots of cells because I used, what did I use? 6 drops. 6 drops of oil. But I did want that really rocky, celly kind of a look. It's still got background. Oops. Stuck my stick in that. Alright, I think that is done. I think I torch anymore. Oh, maybe I will. It's just this area here is bugging me. See how it's got the little speckles? Oh, look at those. So the speckles, I think, and I may be wrong, but I think those little speckles are air bubbles as opposed to cells, because when I torch in there, those came up. See the cells? They're actually cells with rings as opposed to just a little speckle. So maybe I need to just let that paint rest, I don't know, half a day. I don't know, I was busy, I had things to do, I wanted to paint. Let me see if I can just torch in here where I stuck my finger in that caterpillar. See if there's something in there. Because that's not that attractive, is it? Okay, well, that's a lot of cells that have popped up under there, which is better than having that murky background. I was just seeing if I could stretch those a bit. Play with them, stretch them a bit. There, that's a bit better. They're a little bit stretched. And I guess they'll keep growing a little bit. Right, I'm done. Back away from the painting. Let me take you down for a close-up. Get my gloves off. I think I will call that one Rocky Mountain. Okay, pretty, pretty. I'll take you down. Do you guys like these ones that have got heaps and heaps of cells like this? Or do you prefer some of my other pours that have got more background? Because I know some people love these, which, you know, Cellmania. And others are more, I prefer background. And I do both, you know, I like both. So I guess it just depends on my mood. Let's go around this way. I actually quite like doing it this way, except for that light that's in the way. So when you've got so many cells, they kind of all bump into each other. And they maybe not as round as they could be. It's probably better this way. Yeah, maybe not so round because, you know, they were round, they've bumped into each other, so they've squished a bit. Those are those little ones there that I've got after I torched in that section. The dark greeny blue and the yellow have made like a turquoise, which is really pretty. And over here, that's that other section that I torched. Just in that brownish section. Is that zooming? That's better, isn't it? Can't tell. Alright, hope you've enjoyed that video. And I'm going to go again with my glue and water mix, and I'll try letting the paint sit longer. Or maybe it's just that yellow, because it was the yellow that gave me those little dots. So maybe it's that being transparent that's given me those dots. Maybe. More experimentation needed. Rightio, I will see you for the next one. Bye for now.